Hey everyone, this is Johnny from South Jersey Vapors. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Kangertech Mega Aerotank. So, what is this Kangertech Mega Aerotank? It is their answer to the Nautilus tank or the K-Fun. It is a Clearomizer. It's definitely for the newbie person out there, not necessarily for the experienced vapor, although it is a very good, decent product. But I'm going to show you that when I dive down and take this apart, show you exactly what this is. Alrighty, so here we have it. We have the Aerotank Mega. So what's so different about this versus the actual Aerotank itself is that the adjustable airflow is on the bottom here. There has a little like indentations, almost like a spiral staircase on the bottom that show you the airflow. And if you can see in there, I'm going to try to get it in there. You can just turn the tank. It's really easy to move. That's actually one of the cons that I have against this thing. It's because a lot of times you won't realize that you're actually cutting off your airflow, especially if you like it really wide open like I do. But it comes apart in 3 parts. Here's your bottom part here, the bottom base, and then this whole entire thing comes apart. Now right now I have it filled up somewhat with some Space Jam Starship 1, and it's absolutely delicious. One of the main differences between the ProTank 3, the Mega Tank, not the Mega Tank, the Aerotank, and the Aerotank Mega is that, if you can see here, the actual coil itself is completely different. I have been able to successfully take this one apart, so unfortunately I don't think you're going to be able to rebuild this. I'm not saying that you can't. I just haven't successfully taken it apart, or even at the time to take it apart. I know it has to come apart because they put it together. But one of the main differences between this one and an actual coil that you can actually get right over the counter of just a regular EVOD or a ProTank 1 or 2 coil is that this one is a dual coil that comes with the Mega Tank. However, it can fire these single coil ones. So if you do have a plethora of these single coil coils, you're going to be able to fire them on your Mega Tank. I actually kind of prefer the vapor that comes out of the single coils on these versus the dual coil. And I do rebuild my ProTank coils with cotton. I don't believe this one is rebuilt. I think this is just a stock one. And that's on the right. So I'm just put that over to the side. Another main difference is, and the one thing I do like a lot from the ProTank 1 or 2 versus going up into the Aerotank, is that the actual contact on the bottom is completely shielded off from your battery, so you're not going to get that much of a juice leak through the bottom. And all you have to do, just like every other ProTank type of coil system, is just going to take it and just turn the actual coil inside the base. Just make sure I'm not cross-threading, just like that. As you can see deep inside down here, there's going to be 3 or 4 holes. There's actually going to be 4 holes altogether. That's where you fill. And if you also see, there's a huge chamber inside here from the tank to where the actual coil sits. So the juice kind of flows out into there. I'm going to take my coil and put it back on there for you. And you can see I have a decent amount of juice in here. I have roughly about half a tank's worth. And then as soon as I turn it over, after I screw the base in, it's going to look like as though there's no juice in there. All the juice went inside the chamber. So when you do fill it up, it's going to look like you have half a tank. A lot of people were telling me, like, dude, you don't have any juice in here. And I said, well, no, actually, it's all sitting in this huge chamber right here. As you can see here, it has the Kangertech Aerotank Mega on there. And the cool thing about this one versus the actual one of the Aspire Nautiluses, and they're kind of getting their head a little bit above themselves, in my opinion, is you're kind of trying to make this marketable as a K-Fun. The reason why is because they include a center section that's made out of stainless steel that replaces the glass. It is a really cool thing, especially if you can crack your actual glass, because this is a Pyrex glass. I've never cracked any type of Kanger product before. However, I know it is possible. And to replace these actual Pyrex glass sleeves isn't cheap. So they give you a nice option when it comes to replacing it, making it stainless steel. Again, they kind of try to make this exactly like a K-Fun. Even the top cap looks like it, and even the drip tip that came with it looks exactly like the actual K-Fun drip tip. What is my final pros on it? Pros, that is, it does have a better adjustable airflow. As you can see here, it's very easy to spin, and you have to line it up down here with the indentations for the airflow, and it's just like a slit inside there. It's not like actually holes. It's just like a slit that's going up that gradually increases. It does use the EVOD Pro Tank coils, so that is a plus for me because I do like my single coil use. The stock coils that come with it aren't bad. I just never really liked how well they've worked. I don't like the dual coil system in any one of my Clearomizers. I like the single coil one. As it compares to the stock, which one is better, the Nautilus or the Kangertech Aerotank Mega? I would have to pick the Mega Tank. The reason why is because the flavor on the Mega Tank is a hell of a lot better. I shouldn't say a hell of a lot better. It is slightly better. But you are using a Clearomizer. You're not going to get any of the performance out of a dripper that you would out of one of these Clearomizers. The flavor is a little bit muted, but it's not too muted. You're actually getting a nice full flavor of it. And especially if you want to put it in, like, if you still have like an MVP lying around or a VTR, it's definitely something you definitely can increase your flavor and vapor quality. So let's go back out for the wide shot and show you my final thoughts. So there you have it. It's the Kangertech Aerotank Mega. So some of the pros against this, not against this, some of the pros for this. So some of the pros are going to be that it holds like 5 milliliters of juice. I forgot to mention that when I was doing the up close. It holds about 5 milliliters of juice. It does have a very easy adjustable airflow on there versus the actual Kangertech Aerotank. It's a slit in there versus just 3 different holes, so you can adjust it, fine tune it the way that you want it to. You can fire it on pretty much any device. What I'm using it on today is an iTaste MVP version 2. I've had this thing for a couple of months and this thing works wonders. Another one of the cons is that the pros, is that this thing actually comes with multiple different sleeves. It's a really wide beauty ring, especially if you're going to be using it on some type of Ego Twist battery, so to kind of make it look uniform. I wouldn't use this on an Ego battery because it's just going to look ridiculous on there. But if you want to, you can definitely use that. Cons, the price tag. The price tag of this thing is well over $42. It is, I believe, the going rate for these things is roughly anywhere between $50 to $60. They're trying to market this thing towards the K-Fun. Does it come close to a K-Fun? No, not at all. This thing comes nowhere near a K-Fun. This is a Clearomizer, not a rebuildable kind of RDA tank system. The flavoring compared to a K-Fun to this Kangertech Mega Tank, it doesn't compare. The K-Fun rules it out. However, when it comes to Clearomizers, this is the best tasting Clearomizer that I've tasted. I own this tank, I also own a Nautilus, I also own a regular Aerotank. And out of all those 3 tanks, this thing works the best. Is it somewhat different? Well, what about the Nautilus? Is the Nautilus close to this thing? Yes, it is very close. However, I prefer this one better because this one is easy to rebuild. If you rebuild it with the standard EVOD Pro Tank kind of coils that you got out there, it's very easy to rebuild and it will fire on these things. So with that being said, definitely gets the South Jersey Vapes approval on this thing, especially for the beginner or the novice, someone who doesn't want to get into your advanced RDAs. That's the whole reason why I did a review on this thing, is because it was new and a lot of people were questioning and asking me about it, and I wanted to review it to let you guys know what our approval is on it. So for a Clearomizer, yes, this is the best tasting Clearomizer out there. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, comment below in the drop box, and we'll let you know if there's any comments, questions, or concerns. We'll definitely respond to you back on a somewhat timely basis. So that's it for today. Have a great day, and vape on.